welcome back to the Thursdays Are the Best Days podcast, episode 114. Not as cool as episode 113, which was
Nope.
last week's.
Nope.
And because of how lame 114 is, there's only two of us this week. Back
Yeah.
down to the more manageable size. I don't even know how many people were on last week's episode.
I had 5 cameras and 6 people, I think. By the way, never doing that again.
Nope.
You will not get Talking Doge ever again.
You thought it was going to be easier than it was.
Well, no, it's
You
like
even had an extra day to do it.
It still fucking sucked. The problem was I had to manually go in and like recut it every time I switched scenes.
Oof.
And then I realized I fucked up too, by the way. There's so many things I should have done, but I didn't. There's this image, right? You see us sitting on this nice image. I redisplayed that this image is hard coded in. Like I can make changes like in OBS. But I re-put the image in the editing because I needed a way to put the Doge face in. And then I did this whole cool shit on the fly and put a tracker in our video, and I completely forgot about it.
So yikes.
And I realized halfway through the podcast last time that my number was in the wrong order and it was behind shit. And then I brought it back to the front, like midway with a nice transition and all cool like. And then I covered it up myself in editing post. So yeah. Not doing that again.
Dude. Why do we make more work for ourselves?
I mean, I wanted it to be cool, and it was cool, I think, but no, not happening again.
Okay, Bruno.
Yeah, hit me.
I have printer story.
Did you say printer?
Yes.
Oh God, I thought I misheard you.
So this morning I get handed a toner cartridge for like an enterprise size printer.
Oh God.
So big.
Yeah.
This is a tube.
Yep.
So I'm trying to look up the brand right now, but I get
Okay.
handed this cartridge. He's like, "You're gonna have to replace this." I'm like, "Okay, how?" Because I'm like, "Do you have any guides?" Because every printer wants to put their goddamn cartridges in a different way. It's annoying.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mine gives me trouble, and it's a little guy.
Yeah. So he's like, "Oh, this one's simple. This one's right on the front plate. It's actually one of the simpler ones, and you just pull out this tube." He's like,
Okay.
"But there's a hiccup." I'm like, "Oh."
Oh, okay.
Like what? He's
There
like,
always is.
"Yeah, unless the printer is determined that the toner is empty, it won't let you take out the toner."
Oh,
So
okay.
my thing isn't loading. So it's Renya or Kenya printer. Reyyena. That's Epson. I don't think I have the brand right. I think it starts with an R. I've never heard of it before.
Rena, Rena.
Maybe. That doesn't look like it though.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
But can you do images just to see? No. So it's this you open up the panel to replace the color, and then there's these color doors of um which tube. It's literally a cylindrical tube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So my boss was like, "Hey, it needs replaced." He's like, if it doesn't need replaced, so you're never gonna be able to get these hatches open unless you break the printer. They're designed so you can't steal toner." I'm like, okay, great.
Okay.
I
I
guess
I at least see okay.
now I'm pretty sure he said there is a way that we could force it if we had to, but it's the whole like
Sure.
paper
Would it
clip in the CD drive like
Yeah.
stupid thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. I go over to the printer and I pull down the thing and he's like, it should just fall open. Like the door. You're not gonna have to pry it. I'm like, it didn't fall open. So I'm like, okay. I'm replacing black. So, the most common one used.
Sure.
So I'm like, I'm grabbing this door. I put a bunch of weight on it. I'm like, fuck. I'm sitting here with a toner cartridge. I can't open this. I look at the thing. It said 6%.
That's not empty.
That's not empty. I go back to my boss. I'm like, yeah, the door didn't just like fall open like you said it would. He's like, oh, someone just kind of told me that it needed replaced. Let me just check the web portal to see. I'm like, it said 6% for me. I'm like, okay, whatever. So he just like pulls up the IP and he gets in. He's like, it says 0% on here. I'm like, well, it wouldn't fucking
Good.
open.
Shake it. Just shake it a little bit.
Shake it a little bit. The thing is, I could fit inside it.
I know.
I could hide in there. He's like, yeah, let me just restart it. I'm like, okay. Let's restart the printer because it apparently is having identity crisis of how much toner it has. So let me just walk over with you just to, because I wanted to show you where I store the toner anyway. I'm like, okay. So we go over there, and after it restarts, it's like, oh yeah, I don't have toner. He pulls it down, the flap just opens right up. I'm
Like
like,
it was exactly like he described, probably.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, didn't do that. He's like, oh, weird. Must just thought it had toner, but the web portal didn't think it had toner.
Yep.
But
That's also weird.
I'm like, I didn't think I was. I mean, I know the whole just restart it thing works for almost everything, but like, I didn't think I'd have to restart the printer to be able to
I think
have
I'd
it
have to restart the printer for it to let go of the toner.
to realize it had no toner. There's only
Hey,
so.
let go. I'm gonna change you.
And I'm like, is it worth doing the web portal or like should I just like is there a way to restart it on the printer in the future? He's like, I just sometimes yank it from the wall, like in the end of things.
Great.
He's like, we have a service contract. It probably won't die that bad.
Nice.
It shuts down faster.
It sure does. Sure does.
But I don't know if you've ever heard of a printer that does that.
I haven't. No. I've never heard of the printer that won't let go.
It's just like I don't know. Like what type of design choice is that? I don't know. Still can't find it. One because I can't look. Oh, Pennsylvania. Expand. So so we're on Office 365.
Yep.
That's all like fine and dandy. But
Yep. It is, but it's not the same.
like today, apparently there was a whole like issue where one guy oh, I had this completely wrong. It was Kyocera.
Kyocera. Yeah.
Kyocera.
Mhm. I've heard
No.
of them before.
Okay.
Never really worked on any, but I've definitely heard of them before. Probably something like this. Big
Yeah,
giant,
similar, yeah.
like a big printer.
It was probably the same one, it just didn't have trays on the side, honestly. That's
Sure.
probably
I mean,
yeah.
and it's all like the one right next to it is the
Yeah.
same printer. It's just it's got the big palletizer or whatever they call it. I don't know. That's probably like 10 grand there sitting next to it at least.
Yeah. And it's not a concern, but it like so we took out it has it has the four colors or the three colors in black, and then it
Yeah.
has a spare toner bin so that if extra toner is like
Okay. Like
you like
it's like the runoff
yeah,
or
and
whatever.
like
Yeah.
so when we took out the black, the end of the black toner cartridge was just covered in magenta. I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
that's
good.
great." I'm like, "That's great." He's like, "Yeah, it's probably fine." So then after we replace the black, it's like, "Hey, it's about time for you to replace the overflow one. So why don't you just use the one you took out that's empty and use it for the overflow?" Which is cool that it lets you do it, you know.
Yeah,
They could make you buy a separate bin one, like
sure. Sure they could.
so, like, the black toner is up here, the magenta toner is up here, the extra tube is, like, down here. So I pulled that one out, and there's magenta all over that one. I'm like, "There's magenta here too." He's like, "Yeah, it's probably fine." I'm like, I think he was saying that, but I don't think it's fine." There's magenta all throughout the inside of that printer apparently, and I don't
Sounds like
wanna
somebody tried to pull out and it didn't wanna let go.
thankfully, we just have to call a number and they'll do
Yeah,
services on it,
that's the way to go. Make somebody
but
else deal with the printer.
I just I don't I don't wanna mess with it because apparently magenta's a if you look on the inside, it's probably everywhere.
Probably. It sounds like it.
Man, I don't know how care how much it is, Bruno. I would double that printer contract just to be able to, like, "It's jammed, call the number." "Can't you unjam it?" "Nope. No thanks."
Yeah, you come rip the paper out of it and break something.
Where is it jammed?" "Oh, it's probably jammed in the middle somewhere." No. But that was my new experience I can tell people is at least your printer lets you replace the toner whenever you fucking want.
You don't have to find the special switch.
I probably will one day, but not today, nor do I care enough to. So, I think that was the weirdest thing from the new job is just the printer thing. Everything else is pretty standard. I get to get
How do you like it
it's
overall?
fine. It's good. It's not
Good.
I mean, there's like the average that you're using an app that's 20 years old and supported by one
You're always
dude.
gonna have that no matter where you go.
Yeah. The only positive about it is the guy that wants it is also a big Mac user, and I'm hoping that with the new ARM processors, it kind of absolutely destroys either Macs or that software.
Nice. I mean, that very well might
The
happen,
worst
actually.
outcome is that it all just works still.
Yeah.
The worst
I
outcome is it
That's
works.
funny that that's the worst outcome, and I completely understand what you mean.
The best outcome is
Something breaks it and forces you to upgrade.
I think the best outcome is that we wouldn't have to support Macs,
Yes.
but I think the less better outcome is we get a new software.
Yep. And the
So
best is just same software, newer version, destroy all Mac service.
there is no newer version. It's a
Oh.
20-year-old software that's
Okay.
somewhat managed.
New service, no Macs with better infrastructure.
Yeah, because we have like I'd say from what I've understood like 30% max,
That's a lot.
which means you can't really just use like Active Directory. Well, you can't. You can use Active Directory, but you really can't use like
You can't
group
lean on it heavy.
now, well, you can't use a lot of group policy. You have
Yeah.
like a lot of the built-in tools to manage a lot of
That's what
Windows
I mean
stuff.
by leaning on it heavy.
Yeah.
You can't use it the way it's really intended to. You can just use it for some stuff.
So we have to use a third-party software that manages.
Yeah. Or you have to use it and something else for the Macs.
Yes. And like it's just annoying. Like the Max, it was just screaming about a bunch of stuff apparently on the firewall because I was going through the antivirus security web filtering app we have, and I'm like, why is it screaming about all the Macs? And it's like, oh, we have to turn off all their firewalls just because it didn't like stuff. Like,
Wow.
okay,
All right. Why
whatever.
why so many Macs? Like, do
Because
people just want them, or
I think
was there a good reason?
the president who might be the owner, but I know he's at least the president.
Yeah.
Loves Macs, like
Oh,
preaches them.
gotcha.
So he buys Macs, and
Yep.
then, like, I wouldn't they're great for what their use case is in an office environment. When I don't know. Some offices, you can't even have HP and Dell. Some people only do
Yeah.
one, let
Yeah.
alone 2 separate operating systems.
Well, I'd try and have everything as uniform as possible.
Well,
Like in a perfect world for myself,
it's
you
just
know,
doesn't make sense to have it different.
buy all Dells, get good warranties. They all have service tags on them. Like, it's all there already. Just use it. You have a problem? Oh, it's a Dell. Not, oh, what brand is it? What OS is it running? What is it doing?
Mhm. It then now, like, at some point, I'm gonna have to, like you kinda have to, like, dual manage updates now. Like, is this Mac update good? Is this Windows update bad?
Yeah,
At least there's no Linux users.
I would really throw a wrench into it.
Ooh, I got another story. This one's gonna so you know how, like, a lot of times the end users can't really, like, solve simple tasks? It's, like,
Sure.
a
Yeah.
common occurrence, which
Yeah.
is fine, you know?
Like, I I'm trying to think of something simple,
I don't know,
like
there
something with volume or something, probably.
yeah,
It's like
guy
it's
that
all right there, but
I had a guy complain about his keyboard and mouse, like, his mouse was lagging, and we just gave him a new one because there was, like, 4 or 5 people in a small area with the same, like, HP mice, and they used, it wasn't, like, a direct c like, it wasn't Logitech where it was kinda like a UEFI, like, a good connection just between the mouse, the dongle, and, like, the keyboard,
yeah.
or not UEFI,
Are you talking like PS2 connection?
no, 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 like, wireless. Like, the
Oh,
way the
oh,
dongles the protocol, how the, dongles talk on the one
oh,
brand they had was pretty crap when you had a lot of them.
the Logitech ones.
No, 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 it was Microsoft it was, like, HP ones.
Oh, I don't know offhand what they were called, but
But then we're
uh,
going to Logitech because 'cause they're a little bit better with, like
yeah, they are pretty good usually.
with how, like, individual they are and they don't interfere with each other too much. So I
Yeah.
replaced the stuff and, like, 10 minutes later, I get a call, like, "It didn't work." I'm like, "It worked for me." I moved the mouse around. Turns out it was just a bad like, one of his dock's USB port is, like, not dead, but it's dying. So it was,
Yep.
like, simple stuff like that where I was like, "Well, maybe you could, like, just switch your dongle from one port to the other." So one of the projects I learned about was, like, they want better reporting. I'm like, "Okay, sure." Everyone wants their little nice reports. So my boss was like, "Yeah, but you should see how bad it is." I'm like, "Okay, how bad is it?" It's like, "Okay, so this one woman takes this data and exports it from our, like, software into a CSV file.
Okay.
She takes that CSV file and imports it into Excel.
Yep.
From Excel, she, like, formats it a little bit, gets into tables.
Sure.
Once it's in tables in an Excel sheet, she goes to her PowerPoint, links the spreadsheet in the PowerPoint, and then does, like, a slide that is a think of it as, like, a report is a PowerPoint
Really?
slide. So, just one report PowerPoint she had was 110 slides with 30 plus Excel spreadsheets linked to it. And
Oh my god.
Bruno, like, I was sitting there, I'm like, I am utterly amazed that, like, without the help of IT, at some point, these users who sometimes struggle with, like, simple tasks of, yeah, like, my volume isn't playing, somehow figured out how to export data, import it into Excel, link an Excel spreadsheet into a PowerPoint, and do
You've
a
got
100 and
like dozens of files linked together. If you
literally,
move one, you're screwed.
it's what happened because they went from they're doing OneDrive. So every So people were recently-ish migrating, well, they were in the process of migrating everyone's, like, desktop,
Yeah.
pictures and documents from local everyone's just automatically set up and synced with
Yeah.
OneDrive, which is nice. So, everything's stored there. The users can access their files technically anywhere because they really can't save
Sure.
anywhere. They're not really smart enough to save to, like, the local C drive.
Sure.
But because of that, all the link spreadsheets just threw up because they had different paths.
Yep.
But I was just sitting there, I'm like, if you would have asked me how you could create a reporting software with Excel and PowerPoint, I'd be like, I don't know.
I mean, I know you can link them like that, but man,
Would you've ever
how many
thought
did you
to
say? 40 something?
there was 110 slides of different graphs, and then there was like 30 plus Excel sheets. Sheets.
God.
some of them were linked multiple times for multiple
Yeah,
like sheets, but
yeah,
like
sure. But God, that's a lot.
that was just one like that was one category of reports. I think that was all about tons, like tons of material used.
Ooh.
I was just in utter like it was just utter amazement how like a system like that was implemented, used, and it's slow. Like it is absolutely atrociously
I
slow.
bet it is. Every time you open that thing, you gotta, cause I'm sure it would update if you changed anything.
Well, to update it, you have to go in and change the Excel spreadsheet,
But
save
that's what
it,
I'm saying.
and then you have
If
to then
if
it
you changed any one of those numbers, it would update on the PowerPoint. So every time you open that PowerPoint, it's gotta go through all those files
yes.
and redraw all those graphs.
Yeah, so we're gonna fucking hopefully get that into like it,
Anything else?
we're hope we're hoping just to get all the data into a database and then give
Sure.
the either trust the users to like have a front end that's like pool only, so they really can't destroy the data. Like we either
Sure.
set up all the reports for them or like we teach them how to create a report and they can, you know,
Yeah.
do as needed.
It almost sounds like you could automate the import of that data.
100%. We could and automate the that's like the goal is to get it that it just sends it in there.
Yeah,
Or like we're using buy or power buy, which is like it was just a company Microsoft bought to be honest with you.
sure.
Just a front end database like reporting like not statistics, but it's just like you set up a database and it pulls the data front end for users to mess around with.
Mhm.
It's for the people that are less than a database administrator, but higher
Yeah,
than like a
and I feel where it's sitting.
I just sit there and I'm like, the ingenuity is some people to get some technology working.
Yeah, it's impressive.
I don't utterly amazed. And then, well, because there's a new building being built, I heard a story of like when they were building one of the other new buildings they built, which is an old building now, because there's a new building, because that's always
Mhm.
how that thing ends up.
Sure. I think
They
I'm
were talking,
following.
yeah, like the closet's upstairs and like I guess you would think you'd call it like it's just an upstairs storage. Like it's a big like open like I don't even think it's like a pole barn. It's one of those steel frames with
Okay,
like almost like a spine, one big bar down the middle, and they all
sure.
built little
I think
spines
I know
off.
what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, like an office space that's just concreted walls, and up top is just storage.
Sure.
So the cables go up from the offices below through the one little tube, and it's gonna sit on a rack above. And the guy that run on the cables, he's like, all the security people can run their cameras in stuff through this tube because they only drilled one. He's like, as long as they don't burn my wires. I'm like, what do you mean burn your wires? He's like, yeah, the last time we dealt with this company at a different plant, when they were trying to pull the wires through the same tube, the friction like literally
They
charred the
they
cables.
probably were pulling so fast and so hard. Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. Because I've pulled a couple, but I've never, and I know they get hot, but I never pulled it to the fact that I thought until they got like literally charred.
Well, all you gotta do is melt through a couple layers and make them short out together.
Well, maybe you should just lube them up.
I think that's a thing, actually, probably.
That's just a wire. What's the worst that happens?
The lube goes through the shielding on the outside, like
Eh,
eats through it. That's
eh.
pretty bad.
Well, I mean, possibly. I've seen like I've seen Ethernet wires go through like lawnmowers with like all the strands every which way, and like you know, you wonder how they're working. You plug it in the wall, and you still get a connection. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine.
I mean,
As long
I'm
as
surprised I get. So you know how with Ethernet lines, you're not supposed to run them parallel with power lines because
yeah,
it causes interference.
theoretically.
So I ran one 100 foot through a tube right next to a 50 amp line out to my shed.
Mm,
I still get decent speeds out there though.
I think it's all it should affect
Yeah,
it, but in actuality,
yeah, it's not too bad.
I've
It's
done.
also Cat 6 cable.
Oh, that's thick.
Yeah, like it's got the divider and everything in it. Also, it's like 200 foot though, is the other problem.
Isn't it 300 feet? Or is it 300 yards? Or is
It's
it 100
100
meters?
yards. Yeah, 100 meters that you should be able to go. Yeah. So
I think
it's theoretically fine.
I think that other one is. I think that's bullshit. I've run over 300. I've definitely run over 300 yard meter, whatever it is,
Feet,
feet.
300 feet, 100
100.
meters.
I've definitely done longer runs, to be honest with
You
you.
think?
I have. When you count, when you count for all the current turns and stuff, yeah, and the
Okay.
slack.
I
I
just
mean,
know I have 100 foot in the ground because I laid 100 foot of pipe. I have a 2-inch conduit running from the house to the shed.
it's not even that long. 300, like 100 meters. That's 300 feet. That's a football field.
Roughly, yeah.
And when you do turns and stuff, that adds up quick.
Yeah, like it's strung from my study all the way down through the house and then through the tube and then when you get there it goes all the way over there and then a little bit.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
And then I plugged it into an old router and tried to throw it as an access point. That didn't work, so now I have two networks.
Mm,
And it's fine.
it's fine. What's your other network called? Bruno Second Network?
I think it's Bruno Shed.
Shed Time Fun Time?
Yeah.
I think people around me have some fun Wi-Fi names. I didn't I didn't know what to make mine.
I I don't spend much time setting up my Wi-Fi name. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I have Yes, I have Wi-Fi. Go be yourself. Fury Road. I don't care. Lord of the Pings.
All right, that's not bad. I'll accept that.
I kind of wanted to make one of my because I have both. Both of mine are just displaying like the
Mine are
point
just
four.
Bruno Shed and Bruno in
Yeah.
both
Okay.
networks. I just don't care.
Yeah. I have. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
So one of the issues of the changing RGB lights is if my phone's on auto, depending on what color it is, affects the
The
brightness of
brightness
my
a
screen.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I have a
Jesus.
yeah. It's
I'd love to see a channel map of that.
dude. It's probably absolute ass. Could I? Do I need to get in my router? Or can I just look at one?
You should probably download one on your phone.
It's
It's
not.
fine. Don't worry about it.
But remember that meme, the Jeff and the cooler Jeff? Or it's that meme where the two guys are in the Facebook. One guy has glasses, the other guy doesn't. It's like
No, I
it's
don't know if
cool.
I've no.
It's like cool day or Dave, cooler Dave, or yo, it was Daniel. Sorry,
Ah, absolutely I've seen this one.
I was kind of thinking like Wi-Fi,
Absolutely seen this beam.
Wi-Fi, the cooler Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that meme, but I didn't. I don't care enough to. And then I
My
was thinking
problem would
about
be like people would come over and always ask for it, and I'd be like, no, I don't feel like giving it to you for the 16th time and telling you which one it is.
well, then I was thinking about I could set up both the guest network on both 2.4 and 5, so I could have 4 being displayed.
I could do 8, Nick.
I know you could. Oh, you could do 8. Damn.
Yeah, because I have two separate networks that I could
Oh,
run
okay, yeah.
both a normal and a guest.
So I was
Hell,
almost thinking
there's another router around here somewhere. I'll plug it in.
I was, like, also thinking, I'm like, "That'd be fun." If I had 4 Wi-Fis being like, "Fucking hell with these neighbors. Shut the fuck up, Gerald. Why are you guys why don't you guys resolve your differences? Why can't we be friends?" And everyone would be like, "Who are these people?" And it's just me and my
It's just you broadcasting all the radio signals.
it's just me and my RGB. My room, you can tell which room is mine because of the RGB lights. If you I take a picture out of, like, the one part of my building, my room is just, like, flashing. Everyone else is, like, these either a little bit of dim light through, like, blinds or something like that,
Yeah.
or, like, nothing, but mine is just, like, a rave going on down here.
I saw shit, I gotta find it now. I saw a video the other day of somebody making an LED array with ping pong balls.
Uh,
And it was like a whole lot of work that I would not want to do,
what
but it looked really cool.
where'd you see this?
On YouTube,
Uh,
obviously.
well, it could have been Reddit.
No, I don't think so. Um,
Oh my god, I'm already done with this as this guy's punching holes.
look at this shit. Oh no, this was the bad one. He made a good one. Hold on, let me find a better one.
This is the bad one?
Yeah, this is the guy though.
How is
It
that the bad one?
it I'll show you. Oh god, I got an ad.
Hi, I'm
Really?
Dave. Oh,
Where's the side by side to show you how much better this one is? Oh,
uh,
come on, dude. But like, it's all these panels, and they're all individual panels that have LEDs
did
that he
he
then
hot glue the fucking
he
ping pong
did.
ball?
Yeah. Like that part I'm not happy about, but like,
They get hot. I mean, they don't get hot, but they don't.
yeah. The right is the old and the left is the new.
Right is old, left is new. Oh, well, I mean, there's the density.
Yeah, it's very much dense and it's very like straight on the new one. And it's like that's dope. And I would do it in like a smaller section. It would be cool, I think,
No, it's
but
not
no,
worth it.
it's way too much work.
For something, it's cool, but it's not like
Now, see, I would want it to like hook into my computer and be like, "Oh, hey, you got a Discord notification," and pop a Discord symbol up on it. And I'd want it to be like 12 by 12
why do you ask for so much?
because I know I can fail the task successfully.
Ho I don't think you could get the Discord thing to work ever.
You don't think so?
Unless there's a some sort of application that can, like, detect Discord, like, bloop. Is there?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Because in order to, like you'd have to, like, export
I think it would be cool though.
unless you set up, like, a Raspberry Pi. I don't know. You'd have to set up
I think
something
they were
weird.
running it on like Arduinos.
Okay. You have to set it up with something, like, with Android that you would, like, be able to
Yeah.
have Discord installed that would be able to, like
Sure. I mean, hell, I'll run a virtual box on the server for it. I don't care.
ugh, that'd just be so this well, let's just Google it. Let's see if that's a thing.
Okay.
Discord notification sign?
I
Uh,
also saw like in that same aspect, I saw someone 3D printing like a fascia to go on an LED panel like that,
mhm.
and it was squares, like, and it was a thin layer, so it diffused the light. It looked way better. So I'd probably do that instead of ping pong balls being stupid. But yeah,
This one's hard to Google because when you Google it, it thinks you're talking about something
yeah,
else.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Notifier?
Discord bot API for notifications.
How does it know your notifications though?
That might. Well, you could. Oh wait. Hmm.
Because like I get it if you like if you were in our server and you put it to like look for every time an at Bruno's done,
Well,
but
like
like
how? What are the?
I don't understand how it could do like DMs or like
How did I set up the Twitter bots? How did I do that? Oh, those were server things, weren't they? They were server webhooks. No. Ooh, widgets. I think they were widgets. I don't know. And I can't look because it's got streamer mode because I got OBS open. I can nope, not looking. I
I
don't
mean
know.
it'd be something cool if Discord allowed you to like have more
Like
control over
back end
Discord.
API of your notifications would be cool. Yes.
Yes. But I can never remember what API stands for.
Are you googling it? Because I'm about to.
Application Programming Interface.
Okay, that's enough to remember, but I'll forget it immediately.
It's like, oh, does it have an API?
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna remember that.
it makes sense, but I feel like API is very vague a lot of times.
Yeah,
Oh, this has API. Oh, what does that mean? Well,
it means you can do stuff with it.
well, yes, but actually, you can look at the like system settings. Oh, can you do anything? Well, yes, but actually, no. It's yes. API. Oh, and consumers go through the API to get talk to the software application. It's really vague. So vague. Okay. Cybersecurity. I don't. Oh, so I don't know if I got. I think I kind of talked about this, but
Okay.
another system I'm gonna start like. I guess like it's gonna be like my system. I have to worry about making sure it runs and
Okay.
manages and
Sure.
stuff.
What's
It's
that?
not a real big system. It's called Know Before.
Know before.
Yeah. So being in manufacturing, we have a lot of blue collar workers who are older. So one, they're not really they're not versed in technology because they do a job that requires little to no computer interaction other than like, scanning barcodes or printing off
Sure.
labels. Very limited stuff. Mixed with the fact that they're older, so they never had this stuff growing up. So
Yep.
they're a product of no technological need and like desire. So
Yes.
we gotta worry about them and even office staff. But like it is a lot of office staff too. Don't think I'm putting down the blue collars. But like people like clicking on phishing, scam, bad
Yes. Very
emails.
much so. They click on things a lot.
So this know before system is a system that like first everyone's gonna get sent out over a period of time at least one or two fake emails. Don't break it. And because everyone gets sent out emails, I'm gonna be able to then go in and track. Is that an octopus? Oh,
It
that's your
is.
octopus.
Yes. Sorry, I'm fiddly for
I'm
some
gonna be able
reason
to.
tonight.
Okay. I'm gonna be able to see who actually clicked on what and how far they got into these emails.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna
Okay.
have to like see how badly people perform of your car insurance is up. Please enter your Windows username and password to verify.
Well, that reminds me of the thing that Fee sent today about Elon and his
Yeah.
tweet to send Bitcoin and he'll double it,
Yeah. So I
which was a scam. Somebody hacked his account.
so I think the reason gonna be in charge of this, one, because it's simple, but I think the real reason, not really, but I think the real reason is that my boss is gonna make it so that then when people are pissed off that they have to do a 45-minute training on why they shouldn't open emails about sending a Nigerian prince some money to help the company. It'll be like, why am I sitting through this? Well, it's like, well, Dave, you didn't realize that you shouldn't click this email. I don't want to listen to this. Well, don't click the
We
email.
need you to, so you don't click these emails.
Well, see, you click the email, and that was bad, which makes me have a lot of work later because you like to click these emails.
Yeah.
If you learn to not click these emails, then we both just move on. We
Yeah.
live. So I'll get to. I think I'm gonna be like the hey, please watch the video. You obviously can't tell the difference of support at Amazon at Walmart at Target help desk 12345.com. So what is this? Oh, is this the
This is the blockchain wallet for that the address that the guy sent on like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, all kinds of big verified Twitter handles. He got sent 12.8 bitcoins.
that's a lot of bitcoins.
That is a lot of bitcoins. About $118,000 worth.
Like good on him. Like
I mean, well, like I think what made it work is it was coming from verified accounts, and people were like, "Oh, Elon wants to give me some money."
hell yeah.
But God, please, no. I'd
Like
be half tempted, but God, I would not do it with anything that I need.
yeah. Like at least 12 isn't like a huge number. Like even
Yeah.
if it came from one person, that's a yikes. Two people,
No, it was like a shit ton of people.
okay. Well, that makes it better. People losing a couple hundred here or there because they don't bother to 0.001. Oh, yeah.
I'm just looking at like what a number means. I think I saw like a lot of 0.003s or
Must be
something,
maybe like a lot.
which is
Maybe the
like
one.
$30 probably.
Yeah. What it could have been also is like some websites require you to buy like $25 worth, like,
And
or like
then
you have
yeah,
to import $25 of your money and they just bought it.
yeah.
It's, you know, these hackers,
And apparently they got into like the back end admin panel or something, which was weird.
I I find it weird that like if they got in the back panel and they got like into an admin portal on Twitter, it's kind of weird that Twitter has the ability as an admin for someone to log into all these people accounts. It's not like,
I don't know if it was login or if it was like here's their passwords.
but even that,
Yeah,
like
that's not good either.
good
Uh,
good website password management is like once it's in there, no one knows what it is. Like
yeah, not even you.
you can't figure unless you like go through and try to like hash it out
Unless
yourself.
you hash, use the hash to decrypt the password, which is too much work for most people.
And if it's coding, it's probably convoluted to all hell to figure out where the hash ended up and
Oh
where the
yeah, it's
so
crazy.
good on them. Like
Yeah, I mean, it probably took some getting to get there,
the ingenuity of some people hacking Twitter just to
just to make some. Well, like I was impressed with the scam because like not bad. Apparently, he like doxed himself by leaving a trace,
oh,
and people had like his address and name and stuff. But
is he gonna get arrested? Probably.
probably,
That sucks. At least he has a ton of money. He doesn't technically have to give back.
yeah, that's gonna be weird how that works out. Because he sent it somewhere too. Like he sent it. It's gone from that account already.
Like I guess they can make him pay it back, but like it's not like they can seize his bank account.
Like I would have you have to like look through the log to figure out where it went to. But apparently it's gone because
Yeah.
it's received and sent. So it's gone. It's out of there.
Um. I just had something.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched a movie like maybe 2 weeks ago. It was like Ocean's 11.
Yeah. I
It was
not I couldn't describe it, but I know.
yeah, it's like the whole robbing a casino thing with, like, everyone having their
Yeah.
job
Yeah. Is
type
that
of
the
game.
casino one?
Yep.
Because there's, like, 4 of them or something.
Yeah,
4 good ones and then a bunch of other ones.
yeah. So, it was it was a redneck Ocean's 11 that I saw.
Okay. I'm liking the sound of this.
You'd probably love it. I don't what's the movie name? Probably could just Google Redneck Ocean 11. Yeah. Oh,
Lucky
Lucky
Logan?
Logan. Yeah. So, like, the premise is they rob a race car track because what what's more rednecky than a race car track? And they did something that was the smartest thing ever.
Yeah?
They like when they robbed the track, they made it so that they didn't know how much money was there before they robbed it, so that whenever
How do
it
you do
came
that?
like they just took down their like power. So they lost credit card
Okay.
system, which means they didn't have a tracking for like cash input. They were just going to count it later instead of it being
Oh,
counted. So because they did that, they didn't know how much money they had. So
yeah.
after the robbery was over, they gave it all back.
Yeah. But
And
you give back 3 bags instead of 10.
yeah, so like it kind of took people off the like trail like they think they got all their money back.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know. It just like the heat gets reduced when they're not really like
Yeah, that's some
so if I ever rob
ingenuity.
a bank, I'm gonna deploy that system of thought.
I think a bank's pretty good at counting,
Well, if you take down the accounting or you have someone on the inside take it down for you.
I guess.
They move one
Okay.
comma, bam. That's 100,000, Bruno. They think you or that's a million that they think they have in this vault.
Yeah.
Bump it down to 100,000. You steal a milli, you leave 100,000 left. Who would ever know?
I don't know.
See, I've convinced you.
Okay. We'll have to talk after the podcast.
That's
Where are we hitting?
I don't know, somewhere.
After the podcast. We gotta discuss this. It's on the hush.
I don't think you should rob a bank though. I think that's overrated.
You think? That's the overrated thing?
Yeah, I'm sure there's places with more money. Like how much
Like
banks do you
what?
I don't do you think banks have that much cash in them?
Yes. I
Like that
do.
much? I think they have an okay amount of cash, not like a lot. I think they at one point had big amounts of cash, but like it's all online and like if they have like enough bills to last like a week or so before they get more bills, but I don't think they have like large sums of cash in banks anymore.
This this is putting me on a list, by the way.
What did you just go? How much money does a Wells Fargo branch have?
I don't know. Nope.
It has to be a lot less than it used to be, right?
Probably, yeah.
Because of how prevalent on like
But
I'm
like
sure.
I feel like I could easily walk into a bank and say, I want to withdraw 10 grand.
I don't think they'd have. Well, they probably okay. That's an average amount. I'm not like I don't think they have more than like 100,000 in a branches.
Okay.
And if you're going through the process of robbing a bank, like big score, not just like the teller booth, like are you gonna be really happy that you put all that effort into $100,000?
Probably not. You're right.
So I don't know, like uh, I don't know. I'd rob a hmm, not a sports stadium. That's just too much. What would be a good target? Target. No.
What's a good target? How about Target?
Maybe
I
like
don't know.
oh I got it. An Amish flea market. style, like farmer's market. Let's rob a farmer's market.
Oh God.
There's no report. Yeah, that's the target.
Okay.
We
Sure.
strike. We strike at dawn.
I'm not good at dawn. Can we do it at night?
Yeah, it's probably better. I'm just thinking. Now I'm thinking of like where good places to rob would be.
Can I get a cash advance so I can buy my drone, scope it out?
Yes. Get
Well,
your
I want
cash.
to get a drone, Nick.
I know you want to get a
I'm
drone.
really thinking about it.
I
Little spinny boy.
t- if it it's a cool thing. I feel like I have zero. You can't use a drone.
Look at
Let's see
it.
the video. Yeah, you can use it in your backyard.
I can
Skate
use there.
park
You can
probably
use it
get
a
a.
lot of places.
Mm, I don't think you'd be able to fly it off a rooftop in that
I
one
think
section.
with minimal effort, I could make my money back on a drone.
Doing what?
Taking aerial pictures of people's houses.
For what?
$50.
For?
Me to take a picture of their house.
For what does that benefit them?
They have a picture of their house from the air. You got a ladder that tall?
I got Google Maps.
It's not the same, Nick. Not the same.
What do
I
you?
don't know. I think that there's a lot of money in drones, but look at how little it is. It's just fit
I
in your
like
hand.
I like the minis. You know? Oh wait, is that the four? Wait. Go up. Go up. Go up.
2.7K.
No.
What?
Wait. No, the grams. Where?
249.
Yeah, that makes it
Look at it.
legal to do a lot of illegal stuff.
No, all that means is you don't have to register it. You still have
Well,
to follow the laws.
but they don't know you're breaking the laws because they don't know it's
Sure,
yours.
sure. I don't think it's that crazy.
I, mm, I think there could be a lot of Karens
You're
in the
not
world.
supposed to fly it over people. You're not
Look at
supposed
whoa, what?
unless they're part of your like group.
Hmm.
You're not supposed to fly it above 400 feet. That's the limit.
Does it even go that high?
Oh, hell yeah.
How high do they go?
A lot higher than that.
The minis? I don't know, like how
I watched a video of some guy taking it up like 1,200 meters.
the mini,
Meters. Yeah. Or no, maybe not meters. Probably feet. 1,200 feet.
the
Yeah.
mini.
Yeah. This one.
That little thing. What happens when there's a gust of wind that thing's like palm size?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Okay, I knew the big ones could go high. I didn't think that mini was able to go that high.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Um, Also, the range is like stupid far away.
I know the
And you're
range.
supposed to keep these things in line of sight, you know? No one does, but
If I like, maybe if we lived in a cooler part of the country to do drones for,
maybe. The reason it's so interesting is it's like half the price of a real one.
it is. I think
Like
drones are
you
cool.
I did back in the day too.
I think drones are cool. I think they have some fun uses. My whole thing is they've gotten pretty stickler, stickler about a lot of these things.
Yeah, they have.
You used to be able just to fly a drone next to an airport, and they were like, "What the hell's that thing?"
Yeah, now it's like
Now it's a
wicked.
federal, like it's probably a
Yeah.
federal offense.
Oh, what was the website?
What can you do with your drone.org? Enthusiastdrones.com.
No, there's a website that does like maps of like all the places you're not supposed to fly.
Hmm.
And like there's all kinds of these bubbles everywhere. Like Harrisburg is a whole thing. And some of these are like, oh, hey, get approval from us and you can fly 200 meters or 200 feet.
Dude, what
Or
is?
like,
Are you allowed to fly it over rivers? What is that? What are the red spots?
um, what is that?
Are those county lines?
That's the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, you're not allowed to doing trails, aren't you?
There's something about like state parks that they don't love,
Probably because they were like terrorizing wildlife.
or something like that. Yeah, but there's lots of dots where the airports are. Don't just fuck off with New York. Apparently.
Well, don't they got like 3 airports?
Well, like, but the thing is, it's also like, yeah, don't fly it over 400 feet, but you can't do that anywhere. But I think you need to get access here, which is pretty easy. You can just do like an
You're
automated
literally right
let
next
me fly.
to the airport.
Yeah, exactly.
They're cool. I'd say go for it. Do it, enjoy it. I don't know what I would do. I'd like once a year take it on vacation and just fly it around like the beach.
Yeah,
But
that'd be
then,
cool.
you get called. There's some drone looking at us.
Yeah. But like I go on these ATV rides and I feel like some of those would be really cool. Just like take it and send it out off of a cliff.
Till it drops. Then you can do one of those cool moments where you're rushing the razor down a cliff to try to catch it before it falls in a puddle.
Catch it
Ah.
as you're flying.
Flying off the cliff in the razor. How's this? How's the suspension on that thing? How far do you think you can make it before you break something?
Of like a jump?
Yeah,
Oh god. I don't know. How far are
definitely
you talking?
100, 200 feet.
No. I mean, I'm gonna hit terminal velocity by the time I get to the ground.
I mean,
Who, who says I'm gonna land on the damn wheels?
you're gonna hit a puddle. If I've learned anything from video games, is water stops falling physics.
Couple inches, you know. As long as your feet splash, you're good.
I don't know. I've fallen some pretty hard fall heights from some pretty tall heights in my time. I fell off the radio tower on our latest Satisfactory run. That was pretty
And I've
tall.
gotten shot out of a cannon
Yeah.
and landed in a puddle that was up to my ankles and lived.
I mean, it's fine.
Sure it is.
Maybe you should just start jumping your razor to see the limits.
I guess. I drove it on the road today because I wanted to go look at a
I bet you that was loud as shit.
nah, it's fine. I went to go look at like a for sale sign, property sign, because there's a
Were you
plot like of just land.
were you gonna buy the sign?
No, I was just curious. Like kept driving by it and forgetting, and it's like a quarter mile down the road.
So you decided to drive your
Well, I have a story to get into. This is the lead up to the story. I was in the Razor for a different reason. I thought, oh, I'll go take a picture of this sign quick.
What were you gonna take?
That shit gets up to speed. I could drive that on the road all day long.
Uh,
I sped up and I looked down and I was doing 50. Like it was nothing.
so why were you taking a picture of the sign?
So that I could look up who, like the company that's selling it. Because I never saw the sign before. And I tried
Mm,
to look up the land for sale and couldn't find it.
ah.
It's
Are you gonna
some
buy
weird.
land?
No. I'm curious how much it was.
Was it expensive?
I don't know because it's like not really on their website, but only kind of on the website.
Well, that's an under the table deal if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, it's weird. A lot of unknowns.
I'd buy it. There
The
must be
drag
like
strip down the road from me is for sale for 8 million on that website. So that's neat.
you could probably negotiate it down to at least 6.
If somebody hits the lottery, I'll buy it.
We wouldn't do shit with a drag strip.
Mm, Probably right, but
Well, how much did Cletus spend on his track?
so that was a circle track, like
Yes.
a third mile circle track,
Right.
and rumors were like in the 1 to 2 million range.
So we could buy a drag strip for 8 million, or we could buy a track.
Okay, one was a dilapidated, rundown circle
Okay,
track.
did he put 5 million into fixing it?
No, but he has been spending a lot of money fixing it.
But do you think it was over the price of this drag strip that might need fixed up too?
Like the drag strip, first off, they're running currently NHRA Nitro dragsters.
Okay.
That like they're in the rotation of the tracks that they go to, which is a big deal.
Yes.
I, I don't think there's anything wrong with it either. But
Okay, well, I think we'd have better money. I think we'd buy a track over a drag strip because
I could agree with that.
especially at that price, us being able to do a laps around something for time would be a lot more fun than going straight for time.
I could agree with that. I would rather have a track, I think, for sure.
So we're buying a track now.
Yep.
How about we buy the land and we build a track? Can we just have a dirt track? Those are
Sounds
free.
fucking great to me.
How about we figure out that? How about we
Buy
offer
me
like?
land and a bulldozer, and I got you covered.
Well, I don't. Well, we could probably rent a bulldozer.
Nah, you need one of them. You always need heavy machinery.
Do rollers vibrate?
Yes.
Like not because of just like one of the
Yes.
purposes vibrating.
Yes.
Okay, because I said that to someone because I thought it was a thing, but then when I
It's
said it,
absolutely a thing.
I'm like, because it was like rolling right by our like conference room where we were like sitting doing stuff, and it was like the
Now,
building was
there
like,
are different kinds and shit. And
well, the
like,
building was
but
vibrating
oh yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
violently, but I'm like, she's like, I wonder, you think that thing is like shaking the ground so much? I'm like, I swear they vibrate, and they're like, really? I'm like, okay, well
Oh
now that
yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, now that you made me question why I said that, like,
I've rented a 1 ton roller, like a little baby one, and it vibrates.
okay,
Like
I thought
it's got a button on it,
I thought so, but
and it goes
whenever you say something,
and it shakes everything.
it's just like when you say, "Oh yeah, the
Oh
toner's
yeah,
at 6%," and then you looked at it and it's
you
like,
doubt
"Oh,
yourself. I know.
yeah."
I got
It's
you.
like, I'm swear to you, it was at 6%, and that flap wasn't flapping.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, all different kinds, all different reasons. Yeah, these yes, no. They usually have water sprayers too. If you're doing hot asphalt, they spray water on the rollers.
To
Hmm.
cool it down.
Yeah, so the asphalt doesn't stick to it. I think
My boss didn't like my idea of plastic roads.
it's a weird one. I
He was like, "Oh, so what do you guys like talk about on this thing?" I'm like, "We come up with a lot of ideas for like making money." He's like what? I'm like, "Plastic road." I was like, "Plastic roads." Like, well, then you're like, and he thought of some negatives. I'm like, well, that's why we aren't. That's why I'm
we
working here.
talk.
And
It's a hypothetical. We talk about it.
while we're talking about it, I couldn't think of any other good ideas. I was like, maybe I should start jotting those down in case someone's like, I need a business idea. I feel like we've had some good ones.
Well, keep it in the Trello
We had
if
IT
we need
for
to.
we had the IT for streamers. I had
And then
or
there was the podcasting one forever,
yeah,
where you guys wanted to run a podcast for someone else.
that one is still viable.
I just saw today somebody on social media said they wanted to run a podcast.
People like podcasts. What can I
And
say?
then they complained that it was too expensive. I don't know for what reasons, but
I, we, I mean, technically everything's free.
microphone. That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah.
I'm using like $200 worth of audio equipment, and so are you.
Well, yes. Yeah, well, I see where you're coming from, but I don't know.
I already had it.
Maybe we should rent audio equipment.
Speaking of podcasts, did you listen to the Still Untitled,
Uh,
the Adam
oh
Savage
no,
podcast?
I wanted to. I just didn't get a chance today.
I was gonna ask you.
It was good though?
I liked it. It was good. Yeah.
I you said it was a bunch of stories. I'm sure there were
It
a
was
lot of
just
good.
like memories kind of thing. For anyone that didn't know, Grant Imahara from Mythbusters passed. He had a brain aneurysm at 49 years old.
Dude, he's the second one that's died.
Oh, yeah, Jesse Combs.
Yeah. Well, she was on Mythbusters for a little bit, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
She was
I always forget because she was like in the background doing grunt work, it seemed like a lot of the time. But she did get
yeah,
some camera time. I think they needed like a fabricator, and
yeah.
that was her.
I forget. I don't know if she actually did episodes, but I don't remember. I know she was on Mythbusters though.
Oh, yeah, she absolutely was.
Yeah, 2003 to oh, she was on for I think The Hall.
Yeah, like I think she was on for a lot of it, but it was fabrication. And you didn't see a ton on camera, but there was some on camera.
Gotcha. I didn't
Her death was a little bit
She died in a
different.
car crash, but she was also like a
She died trying
driver.
to break some world speed records in the
Yeah.
salt beds.
Yeah, so hers was not expected, but it wasn't like
It was, there was a risk that she was taking every time she got into that car, for sure.
yeah. So, it's one of those.
If you want to hear anything about her, Hoonigan, the YouTube channel, has some good interview with her. It's like an uncut 45-minute interview where they just talked about stuff. It was sweet.
Is Tori Belleci, is he still? Yeah, he's still. Dude, he's 49 too. These not that they're old, but like the young crew is now like oh, their 50s.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know what's crazy? It's crazy.
Dude, can we not can we just can we leave like oh, you know who else died today?
Who?
The creator of the Magic School Bus.
I would not know them by name,
I
but
You wouldn't know him by name, nor would you probably know them at all.
yeah.
But it was like the original author of the Magic School Bus, which depending on how your childhood was, may be a part of it.
Yeah, I remember watching Magic School Bus most of the time, like in school, but
Yeah, that
yeah.
was
That
possibly
and Bill Nye.
yeah. I mean, like
Always
a
watched
staple
Bill
of
Nye
our
in school.
generation was these. I mean, he wasn't animated, but this animated cartoon, and
Yeah.
so rip all the rip everyone. Holy,
Yeah,
2020 is
really.
only
It's taking the punches and just still punching.
man. We're getting locked down again.
Have you seen people?
Yes.
I found I'll have to link it to you. There's an Instagram account that's doing videos where he like dresses as a state. So he's got this like Florida and
Mm-hmm.
he's got like a little marker above. It says FL for Florida. And it's this dude and he's got like a sun hat on with sunglasses, a tank top, just like chilling like Florida. And he's got a DC guy in a suit. But Florida, Florida, they're a little special.
Man,
It is the most hilarious shit I've ever seen.
I'm so glad Florida's a state. I'm so happy that they get to participate in this country.
Like, there was one segment that he's like, they're calling all these states in, and different states are popping in, and he's good. Like, he does his research about states, and like PAs, they got an Eagles jersey, and they kept asking, "I got one question: Wawa or Sheets?"
Damn,
Like, he does his research on states, and like has a whole character for each one.
it's pretty funny.
But Florida's like this special, a little bit slow but hilarious chaos generator.
I have to watch this then.
Um, and they were getting all these people together, and had Illinois hit a record high today of 985 cases, and then they turn back to Florida, and it's like, you got all this shit together for 900 cases? I just hit 15,000 today.
Dude, I I didn't think it was gonna get better, but like I didn't think we were gonna take a
Like,
nosedive.
we did good for like a week or two.
I'm like I was starting to get used to like doing some minimal stuff, but like that's throw that out of the window again. At least I don't have a job that's gonna fire me probably because or not. It's like they're at they're doing double the volume of sales than they normally do with like the same amount of customers. So
Damn. Well, that's good at least that
yeah, so I'm not.
you're
I
not
can't.
concerned about losing a job.
Yep. So I'm riding this whole thing out with this thing and just seeing
Yeah.
where the roller
Hell,
coaster.
it's great that you found a job during this.
Dude, it's absolutely crazy.
Like, to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that it was this easy for you to find one. I thought you were going to be struggling for a little bit.
I I mean,
Not that I wanted it, but
no, I'm surprised I got it, but like I did send out a bill, not a billion, but I applied to
yeah,
like literally everything that had a
everything
pulse.
that applied.
Yeah. I heard back from like 3.
Well, I'm happy that it worked out for you.
And one sent me one this week and was like, "Hey, it was like 2 months later.
Yeah,
I applied 2 months later. Hey, you got the job. Watch this video." And I'm like, "Okay." I watched the video. It's like, we are hiring in over 300." It was VA hospitals. I think they got government money to upgrade the VA hospitals with technology.
sure.
So it was a 1-year contract. So it was like they were like, "It's a hard 1 year. In September 2021, you're done." So
No thanks.
one, I'm like, I don't want to deal with contracts. They can pay good and they can sometimes be fun. Like
Sure, but
what
it's
you're doing could be
God.
fun, but like the fact that you're like worrying that your job could be done,
Yeah,
it's not for me. But like I get this email and like I get it my email at 9:15 at night that's saying I got it. Like no interview, they just accepted me. I'm like, okay, that's one little
that's
sketch.
a little fishy.
So I'm like, whatever. I ignore it because it's 9:15. I'm not gonna reply to it. I'm not gonna do anything. Boy, were they very upset that I didn't reply to them in a s
2 months after you applied.
I woke up, I went to work, I get a call, and I'm like, "I don't know this number." Like, silence.
Sure, do it all the
Leave a
time.
voicemail. "Hey, I don't know if you saw our email, but I'm just calling to see what your see for you to reply, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm just not gonna respond." Text message. "Hey, I called you earlier, and I sent you another email." Because they did send me another email
Oh
right around the time they
God,
texted me.
you mean
Then they
on
called
what?
me again. All within not even 24 hours did they call me 3 times, or they called me twice, they emailed me twice, and they texted me. And then I responded to the email being like, "Maybe if you didn't take 2 months to send me this." Like, "Well, we just got funding a week ago."
What?
I'm like, "That's not my fault. Don't I didn't know you even knew." Like,
So you started looking 7 months before you even had funding
yes.
to fill them. That's great.
I'm like, I was like, "Sorry it took so long." I'm like, "It's not my I don't
So am
feel
I.
I'm
I found a
sorry.
job.
Sorry you guys couldn't figure out, like, maybe we should get funding and then find people." I'm
So
sh-
I've got a story for you.
yeah.
So over the course of the week in between podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
I went out to my garden and something ate the tops of all my or a couple of my pepper plants off. So I got these little stick pepper plants, no leaves. I was
Really?
like, what ate my pepper plants? So I went and got my trail camera, rigged it to my a pole next to my corn. Tried to look at it, couldn't find anything. Nothing showed up. Nothing ate more pepper plants either, though. So I thought, oh shit, okay, fine. Anyways, moral of the story is no trail camera video this week. I don't have
Oh,
shit.
wait, you couldn't. I thought you were gonna be like, I found what was eating my plants.
No, but I was out today.
And
I bought a bag of corn for the deer.
ooh, did you buy a salty rock too, or just corn?
Just corn. Just right now, just corn. We'll see about that in the future. Bought 100 pounds of corn. How much do you think a 100-pound bag of corn goes for?
Well, I'm gonna base this off of bad math. I'm gonna try to base this off the wrong equation
Okay.
to get the right answer.
Okay.
So if I got an ear of corn, it's like
Oh God. I
yeah.
think you're going this way. All right.
How
An ear of corn. Go ahead.
John? How much is a ear of corn? Can I get like a Can I get like a
Why
Wal yeah,
would you
a
for a
Walmart
100-pound bag
4-pack?
of corn and
Got
you
it.
go to an ear?
So four corns on the cob is $5 at Walmart.
Jesus. Okay.
So okay, I'm gonna say a cob is a pound.
Just so for scale here.
Well, maybe not. Maybe like okay,
That's
yes.
that's a 5-gallon bucket.
How many pounds of corn?
100.
Okay. So if I'm gonna say like because you have to take out the cob for the corn. Is it the corn on the cob or is it
It
corn
is just corn kernels. A
kernels?
100-pound of like if you took a can of corn, you
Yes.
know,
Yes.
and dumped it out, the corn kernels, but they're dried. Hold on. I think I have here. Here you go.
Okay, okay. Just
There you
making
go.
sure.
That's 100 pounds of that.
If I was gonna guesstimate, I would say it would take at least three cobs of kernels to make a pound to equal a pound. So that's about it's about 360 372 a pound of corn kernels. These are dried, so they're like cheaper. So we're gonna cut that by like a
Wait, wait,
third.
wait, wait. Because they're dry, they're cheaper.
Yeah, because they don't have to be like when they're fresh, you have to worry about getting them fresh to people,
Okay.
and it's more time sensitive, which is
Okay.
expensive.
I
They're
see your reasoning, at least. Continue.
so that's we're taking about a third of the price off the 372. So we're actually looking at just 248. So we're looking at 248 a pound, but times 100 that'd be $248. That doesn't make sense. So let's do the
Okay, I'm telling
so
you
no no
right
no
now,
no no no. So
if
let's
if that bag was $250, I would not be feeding it to deer.
That's 100 pounds.
It is
But
100 pounds.
let's do the buy in bulk discount, which I'm gonna
Okay.
guess is like 75%.
Okay. So what
So
are we down to? Like
248 times 0.17 or 0.75,
it's down 75%. So what's that like
248
$60?
times 0.25, $62? Yeah,
I still wouldn't be buying that for deer.
that's 100 pounds of corn though. I wouldn't be so. How much did you pay for it?
I think I paid $16 for it.
So the equation.
You were completely fucking off. You reduced it by 75%.
Well, that was the buy in bulk discount. The more
Oh
corn you buy, the
shit.
cheaper it should be. Well, to be fair to me, I don't know how many pounds of kernels comes from one cob. I might have been
That's
overestimate.
where the equation is went off.
I don't think that's a Googleable question. What way of dry corn what per cob? Hmm.
For dry corn, 1 bushel is 72 pounds. Wait.
Dude, I was thinking about wet kernels. I wasn't even thinking about dry kernels. That wouldn't have helped me
Oh,
though.
corn grain is 56 pounds.
Hmm,
56 pounds per bushel.
that's a lot. Hmm. Is corn dense? I don't
An 8-inch ear of corn contains about a half pound of shelled corn.
see that
A
throws off.
hundred, 112 ears is a bushel, which is 56 pounds.
Well, see, that takes my. I would have if I would have had that it been two
Okay,
corns.
do your math with this shit right now.
So two cobs is 1 pound, right?
Yes,
So that would have been
200
248.
cobs.
248 divided or 248, which we're taking a third off of. Uh,
Okay, well, 163.
and then times that by 75 or by 0.25. What's 25% of that? Which is
You're 40 cents.
well, it'd be $40. Yeah,
It's 40 something. I don't know.
that's $40. I mean,
Oh, yeah, I
so
got
I'm
you.
still double. So something is wrong with
You're
that
still,
equation.
it's the price per cob
It must be. I feel is a dollar twenty
or the
four.
reduction, something.
Hmm. I guess
It's got to be the ratio from wet to dry corn.
it must be.
That's where the system's wrong.
Maybe my third is too generous of how much they care about. Maybe it should be 2/3.
Maybe.
If it was 2/3, then I think the equation is closer. What's once?
Yep.
Oh,
That was it.
so
We're down to $20.
dry corn is worth
A
one
third of the
third
price of wet
of
corn.
wet corn. I think that's a sellable point.
So what I'm saying is be ready for deer eating corn next week.
Why did I do that math?
Because I
Okay,
asked you how much my 100-pound bag of corn cost.
now, Bruno, if I would have got $20, if
I would
like
have been shocked if you got $20 out of your math.
that would have been great.
You would have blown me away.
That would have
That
been
would have
so.
been close enough with your napkin math.
Damn. Okay. Maybe next time. I should
Maybe
just
next. But this is why I ask you these questions because they turn into this.
like. I guess I just need to research my corn. Maybe tomorrow, if I'm
Not a
like,
corn expert.
maybe if I'm bored tomorrow, I'll be like to my boss. I'm like, okay, so if you were gonna figure out the value of wet corn to dry corn, what would it like? And he'd probably be like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Did you know that dry corn's
Did you
worth
not listen to my podcast yesterday?
wet corn is worth 2/3 or dry corn is worth 1/3 of wet corn. If you look at the math, it's all there." So,
Only if you buy the cobs of corn from, was it Walmart or Giant?
Walmart.
Walmart.
Hmm. Oh wait, what similar items?
By the way, I only put out like a little pile, so we'll see. I might have to
What?
refresh the pile.
Oh, now I'm very shook.
Oh God, what did you find?
I just found a fresh corn on the cob for 34 cents.
Ooh.
That would have thrown off the math entirely.
All right, this is the weirdest looking page.
It's not
It's
truly
just
summer.
like fresh corn on the cob, 38 cents. Let me add it to my cart. How many can I buy? Ah, damn it. They only
No,
let me get 12.
so wait, you could get 12 at 4.56, but scroll down on that page. Look,
See, I bet you're
that's
buying
not
this
shock.
husk and all like that down here, laid it all out on a platter, looks real nice. Chop the ends off so it's clean.
Well, now I didn't even take into equation the pre-chop. Oh, that's where the money. That's where the
See,
money was.
that's where the third came from.
That's where the extra third came from.
One was
God,
for the dry, the second third was for the dehusking.
I think we all learned something here today. I just changed the. I just
You
basically
know,
now I have to.
I've always thought about this. How in the hell do they get this fresh corn off the cob, like off the stalk? They got some guy out there walking with a basket picking corn cobs?
I,
Because
maybe
like a corn harvester, that all does that whole process by itself. When you see a corn harvester going,
it just
it's
does.
it's taking the corn cobs, splitting them from all the other stuff, and taking the kernels off of the cob, all in one process.
Dude, some farming machinery is just an absolute marvel to me.
I mean, that's a good one. A harvester is a good one.
Okay,
Planters too. They're pretty impressive.
yeah. Uh, do you have anything else?
I don't think
I bet you there's a corn
so.
emoji.
I bet you there is, and I know damn well what we're using.
We're using the corn emoji.
I'm gonna skip the survey, but I'll leave you guys some space if you want to tell us anything.
That's fine. They can't. They can just praise me for my math. I feel like I earned something. So
I think you got close enough for me. After the second, third, we figured out.
yeah, that was yeah.
When you
I
hit 250, though, something didn't turn out right.
I was like, hmm, I'm gonna have to reduce this by a good amount. 75% seems possibly reasonable, but apparently that was still not feasible.
You not only did you reduce it to to by a third, you also reduced it by three quarters. Both of them.
Yeah,
Maybe if you would have. Oh, hold on. What was the number? Was it like 250 or
it was
something?
like 248, I think.
So if we took that and instead went reduce it by three quarters first and then a third, that would have done it. That
No,
would
that
have
would have
put
put
you.
me at 40.
Nope. Oh
What?
fuck. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. It did. It went the same way. I was looking at it wrong.
Yeah, you were thinking if I did the two-thirds again,
Yeah.
but I think that's a way to do backwards math frontwards.
Yeah. You're right. Multiplication just works.
Ah, well, maybe next week I'll figure out something.
Maybe next week I'll come up with another. How much is this object question?
I like that segment.
How much is this sack of corn?
I feel oh, we have to get like the next night or two that hers on.
I'll have to ask him. I'll
I,
record it and ask him.
that'd be so funny.
All right. Now hear me out. Work out the math. How much is 100-pound sack of corn?
Well, it, like corn, yes,
Dry
in a
corn?
can.
No.
What like what do you mean corn? Like the whole
That's
stalk,
crazy.
the whole plant? That's crazy. You got 100 pounds of corn. Where you put
Uh,
that?
in a sack.
You gonna feed that deer eat corn? Yeah, that's crazy. That's
We'll
crazy.
see. I don't. Maybe they won't. Maybe I got deer that don't like corn. We'll see.
Hmm. But you got raccoons.
I feel like that pile has already been eaten a lot.
Hmm.
I'll have to check it.
Probably the cats.
Maybe. Maybe.
Okay. Anything else from you?
I don't think so. I got through my checklist.
Okay, so did I. I had corn checked off for this week. Because that's all we have for this week's episode of Thursdays Are the Best Days podcast. Thanks for listening and goodbye.
See you later.